What's going on, party people? My name is Solomon. I am an artist, and thus I go by Solomon the Artiste. Welcome to another video. So let me just get straight into it. I am currently in day 4 of my water fast, but I'm going to be speaking about day 3. I had some interesting experiences. For the first time, I did begin to feel sort of sluggish, but that's also how I knew that I was leading into ketosis. Again, I wasn't starving for some odd reason, but I did have moments where I did hear my stomach growl or just sort of bubble, so to speak. I had a moment where I just felt so light and empty. I was like, there couldn't possibly be anything else, there for me to flush out in respect to, poop. Surprisingly, I drank I think a half gallon of water all at once, and I immediately needed to use the restroom, and so I did that, and I figured it was just gonna be water just rushing through, and no, there was actually poop, and not just watery poop, but there was actually hard particles, but it was potent, so I knew that it was coming from deep within. It was some old stuff, which I'm glad is being released. What I may actually try to do is boil some of my distilled water and drink that and see if that helps to loosen up anything else that might be there. So what I did, what else? Today I feel more tired than usual. I've heard other people say this in their journeys and whatnot on YouTube and what have you, and I remember even Dr. Sebi spoke about this, where your body has to sort of go through the process of inflicting the pain before it completely fixes whatever needs to be fixed that's causing the pain. So I mentioned, in the first day and second day that inflammation in my foot had just decreased severely, and the inflammation didn't necessarily come back per se, but I think what's happening is that there's some repairing going on in my feet, because suddenly I started feeling some pain in my right foot, particularly in the ball, the knuckles of my toes. I'm sure that's the wrong terminology, but you know what I'm speaking of. Literally, if this was my foot, right here of my feet is where I felt, and it's not severe pain or anything like that, it's just a sense of discomfort that something is happening. And in my left foot, I feel essentially the same thing. It's a bit more severe, because my left foot is the one that bothers me the most. It's the one that I've had the issues with. And it just so happened that I was watching someone else's video last night, right before I went to bed, where he was speaking of him having issues with his hips, his hips would often pop out of socket while growing up, and it still happened, to this day. But when he did his 21-day water fast, he found that he felt a lot of pain there for a good moment, and then when the pain disappeared, he found that he was no longer having issues where his hips popped out of socket and whatnot. So I do believe that the body is repairing itself. That's what happened for him. That's what happened for other YouTubers that I watched that are very much so enveloped in natural care, in natural vegan or plant-based diets and things like that. The reason that I did not shower yet, for one, is that I woke up extra earlier than usual, and I'm finding that what's happening day by day is that I fall asleep earlier, which is great because I do usually suffer with insomnia, but while I fall asleep earlier, I find that I need less and less sleep. So So yeah, I'm falling asleep earlier, but I'm also waking up earlier. But my sleep is so in depth and so great. Like, I am sleeping earlier and for a lesser amount of time, but I feel so rested and refreshed, basically. It may not sound like it or look like it at the moment because, you know, whilst I do feel that, there's still only so much energy that you have when you're fasting, because, you know, you're not eating, your body is in the process of healing, of regenerating, of rebuilding, you know. And so there's a lot of work going on, even though you're not necessarily doing anything per se, even though you're not doing a lot of physical activity. So I'm going back. Yeah, the reason that I opted not to shower as of yet and do my mustache and all that stuff like I've been doing for the previous videos is to mention that I realized that my body was going into ketosis, or officially in ketosis, because I started getting this film of white stuff on my tongue, and that's a sign I understand that to be a sign of the body going through severe detoxing. So that's there. And what I've been doing, because of the fact that I do have to interact with people and everything throughout this fast, is still brushing my teeth. I'd rather not use the fluoride toothpaste, but it's what I have at the moment. I'll try to find some non-fluoride toothpaste somewhere. But at the moment, the fluoride is what I have. And it kind of sort of defeats the purpose of fasting and detoxifying your body. The fluoride is not good for your body from what I understand. But again, sorry, I'm doing it again. You know, I don't want to do like other people who bring the camera to their mouth. That's too much. I just want you can see from here, you know, the white film on my tongue. And I do have to go out today and celebrate someone's birthday. So I'm definitely going to be brushing my teeth and brushing that film off. But the other thing about ketosis is that your body will usually begin to send off an odor, you know, and that's part of the detox as well. So I kind of smelled it. I smelled myself this morning, particularly when I did wake up. I just smelled it and I was just like, oh, there we go. So, and it makes sense. I do understand that from the research I did, you know, it's usually after 3 days, you know, that the body goes into ketosis, you know, on average. It might be a bit earlier, it might be a bit later. For me, I guess technically it was a bit later. I didn't really sense it until I woke up, which was into day 4. And then of course, when you're sleeping, your body naturally goes into repair mode. That's a natural fast. And so I would imagine that if you're water fasting or whatever kind of fasting, when you go into sleep mode, your body goes into a heavier or stronger sense of fast. And I assume that's probably what's been happening. You know, that's probably why the sleep is so deep, but also shortened. You know, the body, you only need but so much time to recover from your day's work. So, yeah, so I think that's pretty much all that I want to mention for this day of fasting. I am I'm definitely more tired than usual, but I do have things that I need to do. I do need to continue to prepare for my grad school auditions. I got emails from 2 schools thus far, giving me a definite date and time for my auditions. So that really just put me, you know, into that mode. I really have to work and focus. But I'm going to continue to do my videos, keep you updated, and yeah. Oh, also, funny thing, the scale came, and I'm not going to lie, the scale wasn't expensive at all. It was $12.99. But I remember looking at reviews a lot of people said, yeah, the scale works great, you know, it worked for a certain amount of time, X, Y, and Z. But then there were other people that said that it wasn't working great, that it would show them a different weight every time they stepped on it and everything. And I saw that, but I also just did not want to pay, you know, 50, 60, $100 for a scale, you know. And additionally, I saw that there were some people who had the electric scales and or the battery run scales that sort of exploded in their bathrooms and what have you, and I didn't want to take that chance, you know, at least not now. Well, I don't want to take a chance on an exploding scale in my house, but regardless, I just wanted a regular scale for now. I just wanted to see what my weight is day by day. So the scale is acting strange. It said to, which is so odd to me, it says to wait for the scale to be room temperature and calibrated and all that stuff. And I mean, I did that, but it still seems to act a little cattywampus. So we'll see. I haven't weighed myself per se. I did not take my pictures yet, but I'm likely gonna do that today. It's just trying to find a space to stand and like take these pictures, and I'm not really interested in being shirtless in these photos, so I'm likely gonna wear I'll find some kind of fitted shirt or something that I can use. I don't know. My skin is a lot clearer compared to the first video, if you take a look. And this is only the third video, you know. What I've noticed is that my skin is healthier. It feels more vibrant. It looks more vibrant. It looks good. But additionally, there's so like I had two pimples that were basically twins. Like they were literally in the same spot on both sides of my face. This one has seemed to go down tremendously. This one seems like it wants to be popped, you know. Either way, both are signs of a detox. I had a pimple here. I think you can see this one I actually popped. It was huge, like it was under my beard. Like I had a beard before I started shooting these videos, and so I shaved everything. And right here is where it was a huge pimple, and I did squeeze it. It was like 3 pimples altogether. I squeezed it, and I know you shouldn't do that, but I did that. And I basically someone just walked in the hallway and made some noise. Basically though, I'm saying though that this pimple just sort of, it's gone completely flat, and trust me, it was tall and it was huge. I think if you look at the other videos, you'll see like a black, it looked like a mole. It wasn't a mole, it was basically a scab from squeezing the pimple. But yeah, I don't know if I need to mention anything else. Right now, the only pressure / pain that I feel are in my feet, and that's where I've had a lot of issues. And so yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. With that said, thank you so much for watching. God bless, and you know, let's continue on this 21-day water fast journey. Bless up.